and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What's up, Carlsbad? We got a beautiful show planned for you today. First, we're going to have a package on cars and coffee. Then we're going to have Cash live on the video wall talking about the NFL. What else are we going to have, Isaiah?
That's right. We're going to have Robbie on location giving an update on the Oceanside Pier. And down off the show, Abe's on the Magical Window talking about Dia de los Muertos.
Sounds like a great show for you today. I'm Tava Valenti.
And I'm Isaiah Wayland.
And CHSTV starts right now. Show, we have a story about a passionate flag football player here at CHS. Let's roll the clip.
Coffee is a car meet that happens every Saturday morning where locals can show off their cars while meeting other people who share their interests. No matter if you've been attending for years or it's only your second time, the community is open to all.
So this one, it's only me and my son's second time coming to this one, and I just kind of did a search for car shows on near me.
I joined about 2 years ago. So we typically start here in Carlsbad, and then we go to about 2 others every Saturday morning.
Since Cars and Coffee in Poinsettia Square is more local to those living in Carlsbad, they're more focused on creating a sense of community.
I think for me it's, well, not the cars obviously, but more importantly the social part of it.
Initially, people come for the cars, but end up staying for the people and the community they built.
It's just cool being around other people that have similar interests. You know, I don't know any of these people here, but as soon as we pulled up, there was 30 people that wanted to come and say hi and introduce themselves. Just a neat atmosphere around cars.
I've met a lot of people from all walks of life, and there's always stories behind a lot of these cars and these folks that come to these meets.
Even if you don't have a car to bring, it's worthwhile to stop by and talk to everyone because you never know who you'll meet.
I think I would say to anybody who just has an interest in cars in general, that's the common bond here. But really, just getting to know different people, what they do, how they've gone through life, and what they've done. I think you can learn a lot from that, and you should just be open to all of that.
Reporting for CHSTV with photojournalist Claire Otten.
Initially, I came for the cars, but ultimately the people.
I'm Isabella Jane.
Thank you for that piece. For sports today, we have all away games with water polo versus La Jolla, football versus LLC, and volleyball versus Sage. Taking it national, the first game of the World Series tonight is taking place in LA. It is a matchup between the Yankees and the Dodgers. The two teams have faced each other in the World Series 11 times, making tonight the 12th. For the NFL, we have Cash to update us on a few past games as well as some recent injuries. Cash?
Thank you, Tava. Good morning, Carlsbad. Cash from Riverside live on the video wall to give a quick update on the NFL and recent events, starting over here with Tua Tagovailoa. He's coming off of yet another severe concussion injury that he suffered about halfway through week 2, and after a 5-week IR trip, he's finally back and healthy, and he should be gearing up to play and start for the Dolphins at quarterback week 8. However, the biggest controversy is his refusal to wear a Guardian cap. Guardian caps are extra padding you put over your helmet, and it statistically helps prevent concussions and other brain disorders like CTE, and he cited it as a personal decision. Over here, we have DeAndre Hopkins, who is involved in a blockbuster trade to the Kansas City Chiefs. He'll now be catching passes from Patrick Mahomes, who's had to deal with a poor wide receiving core, but yet has remained undefeated. Down here, we have a lot of key injuries that have been suffered recently. Brandon Ayuk, after a massive contract he signed over the offseason, he suffered a torn ACL. He's out for the year. Chris Godwin in garbage time suffered a broken ankle. He's out for the year. Christian Darrisaw last night in garbage time possibly suffered a torn ACL. He might be out for the season. And Josh Reynolds right here was involved in a shooting last night in Denver. Police said he is suffering and currently recovering from minor injuries. And finally, we have a controversial no-call face mask last night in the Rams-Vikings game. This play resulted in a safety that ended the game 30-20 in favor of the Rams. Referees said that they could not get a good view of it. It is a non-reviewable call. And Kevin O'Connell, who's actually an LCC alumni, head coach of the Vikings, he said that they will not use it as fuel, but instead they will come back next week even stronger. That's all I got for you to Carlsbad. It'll be an exciting week 8. We'll see what happens.
Thanks, Cash. For today's world news, 19-year-old Walmart employee Gorsamer Encore was found on Saturday dead inside of a Canada Store bakery walk-in oven. Her mother found her body locked to the oven, trying to reach for her after an hour, with no answer. The investigation is ongoing, and we wish the best for her friends and family. Switching topics, Ivana is live with the Purple Out crew. What's up?
Yes, good morning, Carlsbad. I'm Ivana Sotomoy, here talking with Clark to give us more information about Rett syndrome and ways we can spread awareness. So, Clark, what is Rett syndrome?
So hi, this is my sister Roxy. She has Rett syndrome. Rett syndrome is a neurological developmental disorder that happens predominantly in females. Girls are born with 2 X chromosomes and boys with 1. Because it's a mutation of the X chromosome, boys with this disorder don't live very long. Rett syndrome is a very rare disease, and the fact that Carlsbad High School has 3 students with this in the same class is very uncommon. Rett girls understand and comprehend, and they love and have humor just like the rest of us. They just can't express it. I like to think of it as they are trapped in bodies that don't work.
That is very interesting. And Roxy, I heard there is a Purple Out event in order to spread awareness. How can we show up and support?
Next Tuesday, October 29th.
You heard that there, Carlsbad. Make sure to show your support. And lastly, Heather, do you have anything else to add?
Remember to wear purple.
Thank you guys so much for coming on, and I'm going to send it back to the anchors.
AP students, today is the last day to register and pay for AP exams, no exceptions. Please go to aptsusa.com/carlsbadhs to register today. Purple Out is an all-inclusive event to raise an awareness for individuals with Rett syndrome. The event will be during lunch on October 29th near the ASB store. There will be a performance from our Lancer Dancer team, music, Best Buddies, booth, games, and prizes. Make sure to wear purple on October 29th to show your support for Rett syndrome.
Now we have Claire live with ASB talking about Red Ribbon Week. What's up, Claire?
Good morning, Carlsbad. I'm here with some members of ASB. So what brings you on our show this morning?
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Red Ribbon Week.
Awesome. And so could you read the daily message for today?
Yeah, so 1 is the number of people required to make a difference. Each one of us has the power to help each other and ourselves grow up safe, healthy, and drug-free. Rates of past-year alcohol and illicit drug use were lower for youths who had seen or heard alcohol and drug prevention messages in school. Get involved in Red Ribbon Week. Your future is your key, so stay drug-free.
Awesome. That's a great message. And so what has Carlsbad been doing this week to participate?
Yeah, this past week at brunch and lunch, we've been handing out red wristbands and tattoos, and today we're dressing in all red to show our support.
Awesome. Do you guys have any shout-outs?
Shout out, Senor.
Shout out, Senor.
Thank you guys so much for coming on, and I'll send it back to the anchors.
Thanks, Claire. The Math Tutoring Lab is available every morning in room 7203 from 7:30 to 8:25. No appointment is needed, and all are welcome.
Do you have questions on homework? We can help with that. CHS now has peer tutoring available in the library for all your study needs. We'll be in the library on Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. and Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Now I'm going to send it over to Luke live with the Fans of the Year Handles raffle. What's up, Luke?
Good morning, Carlsbad. I'm coming live here with Fans of the Year. So, Lily, how could you get entered for this award?
Yeah, so each week at each of our home games, we had 2 fans of the game, the most spirited, best dressed, and loudest Lancers.
And Chase, how are we going to decide a winner for this contest?
Yeah, so all the fans of the week are entered in this helmet. We're going to do a raffle right now to decide the fan of the year. And the winner is Evan Heidish.
Sounds good. And then, Lily, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, so Evan, come down to the ASB room and pick up your free handles for a year.
Yeah, make sure to go to the ASB room, and I'm now going to send back to the anchors at the desk.
If you need community service hours, CHS counselors are looking for 10th through 12th graders to help with upcoming informational sessions for 8th grader students and families. You'll be speaking on stage about your experience here and the programs we offer, as well as guided tours of CHS campus. You can find the info in the sign-up link in your grade level Google Classroom or see Ms. Ibanez in the counseling office. Maricosta College students ambassadors are available to meet with students Monday mornings in the Counseling Center. They meet with prospective students and give information about the program and services provided. You can sign up to meet with a student ambassador on the counseling website or with your counselor.
Applications for the National Honor Society are now open to qualifying juniors and seniors. Applications are due by Friday, November 1st at 4 p.m. See Ms. Gyrich in room 3214 for more info. Now I'm going to send it over to Robbie live at the Oceanside Pier. What's up, Robbie?
Good morning, Carlsbad. I'm Robbie Rains, and I'm here at the end of the Oceanside Pier, where, as many of you know, about 6 months ago, back in April, this section of the pier actually caught fire and burnt down. Two of the buildings that were involved were, of course, the famous Ruby's Diner, as well as a bait shop. And officials believe that this fire was started within the Ruby's Diner, possibly within the kitchen. And now, fast forward 6 months to now, officials are finally starting to take down some of these parts of the building, and they believe that they will be done by late December or possibly a little bit later into the start of next year. And the owners of the land which the Ruby's Diner sits on plan to rebuild the same building with the same floor plan once they achieve the permits to do so. Make sure to check in Carlsbad for more information, and I'll send it back to the anchors.
Now we have Abraham Sabastian on the Magic Window talking about Dia de los Muertos.
Buenos dias, Carlsbad. I'm Abraham Sabastian, live on the Magic Window to talk to you about an upcoming holiday that some of you may not be very familiar with. All right. Dia de los Muertos, also known in English as Day of the Dead, is a traditionally Latin American holiday celebrated on the 1st and 2nd of November, honoring and remembering the deceased family members of people. That could have came out a little bit better. So, it is a holiday, like I said before, Latin American, but usually it is celebrated mostly in Mexico, but specifically southern states in Mexico, where there is a larger indigenous presence. Dia de los Muertos is a combination of both indigenous and Spanish Catholic influences, as well as the Southwest United States. I will be talking about that a little bit later. Hold on, just give me a second. Oh, whoopsie daisy. These controls are so confusing. So, Dia de los Muertos is split into 2 days. Dia de los Angelitos, where they celebrate the children, and Dia de los Muertos, where they celebrate the adults. I will quickly go through a couple of cultural things about Dia de los Muertos. Ofrendas, that's a pretty good one. If you watch Coco, you probably know what that is. There's calaveras, also known as calaveras azúcares, or sugar skulls. Delicious, love them. Marigolds, it is believed that their scent and color are able to bring the spirits of the dead back to their family members, which is pretty sweet, I have to say. And pan de muerto. Oh, love it. It is so good. It is so good. And as well as traditional dances and music. Mariachi, blah, blah, blah. You know that kind of stuff. So, speaking of the Southwest presence of Dia de los Muertos, coming up very soon in Oceanside is a Dia de los Muertos festival being celebrated this Sunday. You might see me down there. I'm working on a little project on this festival. So that's it for me. I hope you now feel a little bit more informed about this holiday, and I'm going to send it back to the anchors at the desk.
Thank you, Abraham. Lastly, we have a sneak peek on tomorrow's story about a cheerleader here at CHS that stays motivated to get better for her team.
I stay motivated by just thinking about how me and my team are going to look out on the field and just by working hard.
Playoff-themed shirts can now be purchased in the student store, and the theme is Purple Rain. Come get yours before they sell out.
So, Tava, what's your plans for the weekend?
Probably just going to go home and just chill. Not really going to do much. No?
That sounds
What do you got going on?
I think I'm going to go surf because the waves have been pretty fun lately. And I don't know, pretty excited for the weekend, you know?
Yeah, well, surfing sounds like an amazing activity to do over the weekend. You guys should go do the same yourself.
Don't. See the problem?